Helen, in light of the recent dust storms which originated from near the Olympic Dam mine, what possible effects will the dumping of 70 million tonnes of radioactive tailings each year at the mine site have on the miners and their families living near this mine site?
There's a lot of evidence now to show that communities living near tailings piles have a higher than normal incidence of cancer. And it's very important for families to know the children and the babies are extraordinarily sensitive to radiation, and they're going to get cancer more readily and more frequently than adults. In my book, Nuclear Power is Not the Answer to Global Warming, I've described communities in the United States who suffer from high levels of cancer caused by the radiation coming from the tailings. Now, if a man is exposed to whole body gamma radiation, like X-rays, day after day after day, being emanated from the ore face of the uranium, his sperm have half the number of genes of a normal cell, because when the sperm unites with the egg, then you get the normal number of genes, right? So sperm and egg only have half the number. It's called a haploid number. And each one of those genes is important.
What will be the impact of the radon gas released from an open cut mine 4 kilometres long by 3 kilometres wide by 1 kilometre deep, as they're proposing?
Well, if the population nearby lives downwind from the mine, and of course wind changes all the time, they're going to be inhaling radon gas for sure. And radon gas is very carcinogenic. Very carcinogenic. You don't live near a uranium mine. You shouldn't work in a uranium mine because you've got a high risk, relatively high risk of getting cancer, and your children are at a much higher risk. Fetuses are maybe up to 1,000 times more sensitive. So if you're pregnant and you live near a tailings pile, by God, you're at risk. You could swallow radium in the dust, and the body thinks radium is calcium, and it goes to the baby's bones because the baby needs lots of calcium. Because when you're pregnant, your teeth tend to decay a bit because the baby's sucking out the calcium from your bones and your teeth, and so that's laid down in the baby. Well, the baby could be born and develop leukemia shortly after its birth, or 5 years later, or 10 years later.
What will be the effects on the wider Australian public from the radon gas and the radioactive tailings should this proposed Olympic Dam mine go ahead, the expansion of that mine?
Well, 70 million tonnes of radioactive waste sitting there in the wind. It's dry, it's a desert, it's hot, blown by windstorms. We've already recently had 2 huge windstorms blowing over the east coast. Sydney, they got up in the morning, they couldn't see anything. It was just red dust. Now, and much of that dust came from the area of the Olympic Dam, and also probably from Maralinga, where they tested nuclear weapons, and there's plutonium there, which is the most deadly cancer-causing agent in the world. And we don't know what we're breathing. Even down here in Bermagui, we got that dust storm too. It's scary, and no one's really talking about it. We need to get the doctors to rise up and start educating our patients, because, you know, we spend millions of dollars trying to cure cancer, and we don't often cure it. What we must get into is prevention. We must not support an industry that directly increases cancer and genetic disease. What on earth are we doing? What on earth? And by exporting uranium, we're actually exporting cancer and subjecting our own population to an increased incidence of cancer. And I don't know if you've ever seen anyone die of cancer. It's the most tragic, tragic thing. It's painful, and they lose their dignity, and they become incontinent, and they just wither away before your very eyes. It's just tragic. Why do I do this work? Because I'm a doctor. I've helped many children to die, sit by their bed, help them to die. And the parents never recover. This nuclear industry lies with the figures. And that's been shown by the National Academy of Sciences' recent report on the biological effects of ionising radiation. The nuclear industry, from my perspective as a doctor, is wicked. You don't kill people to make money. Okay. You don't export uranium to give children in distant lands cancer to make money. We lock up people who kill. They're murderers. And we know that this stuff from nuclear power plants and from uranium mining causes cancer. That's undisputed, undisputed. Every medical textbook says that.
So it's about the money?
I suppose it is. Damned if I know. But it's wicked. It's like making nuclear weapons. Why do they make nuclear weapons that can destroy your life on Earth? What is the dynamic in the man's brain that decides they want to make nuclear weapons and possibly blow up the planet? What is it? I don't understand.